Hello there and welcome to another live chapter reading for Itsy Bitsy Book Bits. Today I shall be reading from Wildcat, a steamy firefighter romance, MetroGen After Hours Book 1 by Carina, Alyce. Wildcat, noun, 1. Offensive football formation where the ball is snapped to a player that is not the quarterback. 2. A firefighter hired personally by a private owner to protect their property. The NIOSH Fire Investigation 3rd edition and Gridiron Fundamentals 50th edition. Now August, Firehouse 15, the diary of the chaplain at MetroGen. August, it has not been a good night. There was a huge fire and they called a mass casualty incident in the ER. The wards are full and so is the ICU. There were plenty of fatalities, so I already recruited more help. While I was doing my rounds in the ICU, I almost had a heart attack and needed a bed myself. I couldn't believe the patient I ran into up there, though I guess run is too strong of a word since after what happened to her, I don't think she's running anywhere anytime soon. Her sharp tongue works just fine. Chapter 1. A date with the battalion chief. The first thing Leslie McClunis noticed was the lights. They were weird fluorescent lights in the ceiling. As she slowly regained consciousness, she noticed a hum of machines and the clatter of a hospital. People were busy outside her room, so she guessed that she was in the ICU. Too many beeps and too much activity. "You're awake," a voice sounding very relieved said. Leslie turned her head and painfully and slowly to the right, noting her left arm was full of IVs and lines. There was a hand on her arm, that hand connected to a beautiful giant African-American man. She cleared her throat. "Do I know you?" "Hilarious, Leslie," he said. "You scared the shit out of me when I got the call." "Nothing could be scarier than my landscapes," Leslie tried to retort. A bunch of cobwebs was in her brain, blanking out whatever had happened. "Which ICU is this?" "MetroGen. He came out of surgery an hour ago. He broke both legs, fractured 4 ribs and lost his spleen. He still found a way to yell at the 3 nurses, though. You did always want me to slow down. How did it happen?" While it was all blurry yelling, sounded like her at least. "This is the anesthesia talking. You were at a high-rise apartment fire. I guess the floor above you collapsed and smashed you." "I'm not dead. I should be," she commented, all graveyard humour. "There's my girl's winning spirit." The lovely man who happened to be her husband, Trevor, smiled. "I guess you were shielded by a table or something." Leslie thought back for a minute, the pieces coming together. She'd been in command of the 24th floor, below the fire on the 25th. 20 firefighters had been under her direct supervision, including one of her most troublesome groups, Firehouse 15. She remembered talking to the fire chief, and then nothing. Was Chief Baker dead or in a bed nearby? "My team? Chief Baker?" "I don't know about your team," Trevor answered. "The fire chief is fine. He dug you out himself, and I expect he'll be by shortly to check on you, his meanest battalion chief." "You love me because I'm mean." She tried for more humour to mask her growing worry. How many of her firefighters were injured? Every day. Now that she was awake, she definitely believed a floor had fallen on her, while she was suffering from fear of not knowing what had happened to her people. Commanders care for their people before themselves. "Trev?" "Yes, Battalion Chief McClunis." His tone was weary now. "Can you get me Chief Baker now or 10 minutes ago?" "I'll go check for him, but once you talk to him you're going to take a break," he admonished her sternly. "I'm broke," she said. Trevor carefully leaned over and kissed her forehead. There was a junior nurse off in the corner who stared at this display of affection. "Do you need something?" Leslie growled testily. The nurse flushed. Yeah, keep your eyes in your head," Leslie said. Trevor chuckled and left. Some things never changed. Then, August 1995, Firehouse 15. The diary of the chaplain at MetroGen. August 1995. "I got my first job. I can't believe it." Calm down, calm down. "I applied for a ton of positions and I'm going to be the chaplain at Metro General Hospital in downtown Cleveland. Not bad for an Oberlin boy to graduate from Vanderbilt with a Master's of Divinity. Personally, I think they hired me because of my job interview. Not everyone is willing to perform an interpreted Wiccan spiral dance in the hospital conference room. It might have also had something to do with my being the only applicant. The war between Cleveland Clinic and the University Hospital is heating up and might have scared off the other candidates. My being straight and Unitarian might have gone in my favour too. But who cares? I have a job. I can't wait to be home. After 3 half-assed years, the Browns were amazing last year during my 4th year in Tennessee. I had such a great feeling for them in 1995. I have 3 bottles of scotch set aside for when we win the Super Bowl this year. I've got something fun now that I'm moving to Cleveland. Bob Ross class, maybe? I hope you enjoyed this chapter reading and that you'll go check out the book. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.